Our next guest is Dr. Kit Evans Ford, who founded the Argrow's House of Hope and Healing out of her own personal testimony with domestic violence, as well as watching her grandmother live through it. Listen as she shares more.
My name is Dr. Kit Evans Ford. I am the founder and spiritual director at Argrow's House of Healing and Hope here in Davenport, Iowa. How did Argrow's House start? So my first name is Argrow, but I'm actually named after my grandmother. Her name is Reverend Argrow Margaret Warren. So growing up, she's the reason I believe in God, the reason I believe in love. She got married. It was a very violent marriage. And so growing up, I remember seeing cuts on her neck, her arms, her legs. As a child, I couldn't do anything to help her. But now as an adult, I can do something to help women who are in similar situations. Thanks be to God. So we started Argrow's House of Healing and Hope only a couple months ago here in Davenport, Iowa. It is a safe space for women to come and receive free holistic services, healing from violence and abuse. So everything from grief support to art therapy, to counseling services, cooking classes, even journaling classes, all these different things. Healing is different for everyone. So we offer something for everyone in their own uniqueness to see what will assist them, mind, body, and spirit in their healing. We realized that we could assist women, mind, body, and spirit, but women also needed to be assisted financially and economically. So we started a bath and body product business. So we have these amazing, I'm not biased of course, but we have these amazing all-natural handmade bath and body product line, bath bombs, bath bomb delights, essential oil blends. This year we have plans of launching a soap line as well as a lotion line. And so they're all made, survivor made. So the women who are survivors of violence and abuse make these products, and they're able to receive a good livable wage for what they make, and also be able to have the courage to move forward in their healing from violence, and sometimes maybe even leave certain situations. And so, being able to make things that are healthy for the body, but then they're also making something that makes it good for their soul. People really believe in the mission of the organization and know that if our women are healthy, our mothers are healthy, our sisters are healthy, our daughters are healthy, and we can do some great things in the world. Women power, yes. So, it's interesting. Throughout my journey, I saw my grandmother suffer from violence and abuse, but still work to move forward in joy and love. She was such a compassionate person. They say that oftentimes when violence happens in a family, sometimes that it becomes like a generational kind of thing of violence. So I saw my mom be impacted by violence in her marriage. I saw my sister at the age of 12, I remember being 12, and seeing my older sister being beat so bad her face was purple. My brother he saw all of these things, so he took on similar traits where he abused women. Thanks be to God, people have moved forward in my family in their own healing, but it impacted me greatly growing up as a child. And so at the age of 14, I joined an organization called Students Against Violence Everywhere and became their spokesperson in high school. And so I've been working for peace for quite some time, over 20 years, and working to assist people in healing from violence and abuse. So with working for peace, I never thought that I myself would have to become a survivor. But God, had another plan for me. And, I thought, okay, God, I've worked to do good all of my life. I'm not perfect, but I've committed my life to helping women healing from violence and abuse. Why me? Why did I have to go through this? I'm a good person. The whole question of theodicy. I'm a professor, I teach theology. So, there's always this question of why do bad things happen to good people? But sometimes things just happen. And so, I realized, 10 years later, being able to start Argrow's House, I went through that because healing is a journey. And if I hadn't experienced what I experienced and had to go through my own reality of healing, many of these services that we provide in the house, I've had to take part in it myself so that I could move forward in my own healing. I remember nights where I would be in my room shaking from anxiety because I thought someone was going to come that wasn't actually there. You know, so I'm able to empathize with women, not just because of what I've researched. I'm able to empathize with them because I've lived it myself. And so, you know, having and knowing that healing is a journey for everyone. You know, Argrow's house, you know, I pray that our house radiates with love, that it radiates with peace, that it radiates with healing, and knowing that these bad things may happen to us, but we don't have to let it stop us from living. That there are other women that have experienced this, and you don't have to suffer in silence. That there are people. My husband always says that God loves us through people. And I think that we're trained. My husband is Reverend Dwight Ford, by the way, really, really nice guy, pastor of Grace City Church. Got to give him a shout out. But I think that God trains people in counseling and, you know, spiritual direction and art therapy and cooking and sewing, all these different things, so that we can gift those things to other people that may need it on the journey to help bring that joy back to us. And so, you know, that's what Argrow's House is about. You know, every bath and body product that our survivors, and even myself as a survivor, I help to make some of these products as well, you know, as a survivor. But every single bath bomb we make, every single piece of soap that we make, every single essential oil that we make, we put our heart into it. It's made with love. And when you open it, that smell radiates with love, and it smells so good. You know, and every single penny goes back to help these women who are healing. And so, you know, I mean, life is a journey. You know, everything that we go through, sometimes it can be intense. You know, sometimes it can be difficult. You know, but we don't have to do it alone. We never have to suffer in silence. And I think that God opens places and brings places like Argrow's House so that we know that healing is possible. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, things are moving forward with Argrow's House, and I think people have a passion for helping people. You know, and so I'm glad that TBN has created a safe space, you know, to talk about these type of realities in our society, you know, but also to celebrate Christian-based organizations that are doing really good work around the country and around the world, really.
And we're definitely celebrating this Christian-based organization. Well, just as Dr. Kit Evans Ford said, if you have a passion for helping people and looking to get involved, their information is on the screen.